Hello, everybody. Welcome to post Minnesota State High School League Adapted Softball State Tournament Review. I'm Caden, as always. This is Reese, and we've made it. Season is officially over, and well, we've got the state tournament review to go. We're gonna have 4 more podcasts, including this one. So we've got the PI edition and CI edition coming out an hour apart from each other. And then we don't quite know when we're going to do this yet, but we will have a postseason review coming out for both PI and CI divisions. We don't know when.
I was going to ask you about that, like if we were going to do like a year in review of CI and PI.
Yes, we will do a year in review, yes.
Okay.
Yep. We don't know when we're going to record that or when we're going to post that, but I expect early June. But anyway, with that, let's get into the state tournament review. We're starting in the quarterfinals as always, PI division. And yeah, I mean Dakota United Hawks over the St. Paul Humboldt Hawks 11-1. We weren't there for the quarterfinal games, but we were there for the semifinal games. And yeah, I think when we saw this one, we were both kind of like, whoa, Dakota only scored 11 and let up a run?
I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to be nice.
Maybe. But either way, Dakota wins the Hawk Bowl. Again, 11-1. Osseo takes down the Robins in the Bird Bowl, whatever you want to call it, 12-2. Again, pretty much expected. Yeah, not much to really say. This one was a close game between number 3 Anoka Hennepin and number 6 Minneapolis, 12-8. Pretty close game there.
I mean, that's what we kind of expected, no? Like, just a grind it out kind of game from both teams.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you up a little bit here, Reese, because you are quiet on my end, so it's probably quiet on OBS's end as well. So let's turn you to...
I guess I didn't even see this, but they posted the recaps. Didn't even see that.
Yep.
So for Dakota United Humboldt, it says top seed Hawks 8-0 won their 69th consecutive game as they pursue a 6th straight championship. Senior Jay Bamer recorded 3 hits. Dakota United's defense turned a double play in each of the first 4 innings.
Oh. Okay.
Next game, Osseo Robbinsdale. Okay. Leadoff hitter Ben Pfeiffer set the tone for the Orioles as the junior shortstop went 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored. 9th grader Emma Johnson also scored 3 times, going 3 for 3 with a double. Junior Everett Olson was 3 for 4. And Anoka, Minneapolis, just 2 weeks after posting a 10-8 8-inning victory over Minneapolis, Anoka Hennepin prevailed again in the state quarterfinals. Jacob Mshsl reached base 4 times, going 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored. Senior Cordbauer delivered a triple with the bases loaded in the third to put the Mustangs up 8-1.
Oh, wow. So it was 8-1 at one point.
Yeah, and then
wow,
clawed back a little bit.
And then in our final quarterfinal, this one was pretty unexpected. We were expecting this one to be a close game, and South Suburban decided, hey, you know, we're the Flyers, we want to win. And 15-4.
Okay. 4-seeded South Suburban scored 15 unanswered runs.
Oh my god.
After Rochester took a 4-0 lead in the first inning. J.J. Morgan had a pair of triples during a 4-for-4 day, in which he also scored 4 runs. Sophomore Elijah Higgins and senior Daniel Herrera Ortega and junior Buron Haid also went 4-for-4. Senior James Trineri posted a 3 RBI double to extend the Flyers' lead to 9-4 in the 4th.
Wow.
The fact that it was 4-0 surprised me, and then they just went for 15 straight runs. I thought it was going to be close throughout, and then they just South Suburban pulls away late. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, wow. 15 unanswered runs. That's wow.
Yeah, anyway.
With that, we move on to the consolation semis. Rochester defeats St. Paul Humboldt. Raiders come back and end the Hawks season 14-8. It was what, 6-0 at one point?
I think so.
I think it was either 6-0 or like 6-1, 6-2, something in that area. And the St. Paul Humboldt Hawks clawed back, or rather, the Rochester Raiders clawed back and ended up defeating St. Paul Humboldt 14-8 in the full 7 innings. And yeah, that ends the St. Paul Humboldt Hawks season. It was a tough one, but I mean, we weren't really expecting that much from them this season.
Yeah. I mean, did they even win?
They
Oh, yeah,
didn't.
they
They
did
didn't
floor
win. Yeah, they won in floor. They won a couple games in floor hockey, and that's it.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of what we were expecting from St. Paul Humboldt this season. Unfortunately, Mackenzie Green. I mean, she was a bright spot on the St. Paul Humboldt Hawks.
Yeah.
For sure. It sucks that her high school career had to end this way, but yeah. Moving on, we've got Robbinsdale taking down Minneapolis 8-7. This one surprised me. I was not expecting Robbinsdale to win that one. Was a tight game throughout. Minneapolis coach was like 20 minutes late.
Yeah. Yeah, you were texting me saying Minneapolis hasn't even showed up yet. I'm like, oh, maybe they just no-show and forfeit. But eventually they showed up, and I guess it kind of delayed the start of the PI semis, or Osseo and Anoka, that game.
They delayed everything on Jim B.
Yeah. I figured.
But yeah, I mean, Robbinsdale came out on top 8-7, tight game, very good game throughout. And yeah, Robbinsdale ends up going to the Consolation Championship game, which we have now. I forgot to animate the two logos, but the final score was 10-0 in favor of Rochester, kind of what we expected.
I ended up watching like the first 4 innings of this, maybe 3. I forgot if it ended in 5 or 6, but I think it was 2-0 through maybe 3 innings, and then the Rochester just exploded for 5 runs.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll head back over into the main gyms where the CI games were going on at that time.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, kind of what we expected, 10-0. Robbins just couldn't get any offense going in this game. Hopefully you can't hear my TV, by the way. I do have a hockey game on the TV. USA Germany, so...
I cannot, so...
Okay. I do have it pretty quiet, but my microphone is kind of close, so... Either way, go USA.
Yeah.
Go USA, and Germany's currently leading 3-2. With 14 to go in the third.
I mean, I'm not even surprised. It's USA's B squad, maybe even C squad.
Yeah. Featuring T'Chuk. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. So let's move on to the semifinals here. And wow, what a game to start it off, eh? South Suburban Dakota United 5-3. The streak falls at 69. Kind of a bittersweet moment for Dakota United. And of all teams, it turned out to be South Suburban to be the first team since 2018 to take down the Dakota United Hawks, meaning the Flyers advanced to their first state championship game since 2004. What a story. I was telling a lot of the Flyers and the Hawks, like, hey, you know what? Yeah, it sucks that a long streak had to end, but yeah, I mean, it had to end at some point, right? And honestly, I don't think it could have gone to a better squad than the Flyers squad. So, yeah, good on the Flyers. Amazing job taking down the big bad Dakota Hawks. But as a Hawk ourselves, it's kind of bittersweet to see it end.
I mean, when you don't hit the ball on the ground, you know who you are. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are. If you see this video, you know who you are. Anyway, I thought the defense was okay for the most part. I thought Dylan did a good job at pitching. I mean, yeah, just the offense couldn't get anything going. I mean, there was a gap in between first and second that nobody seemed to take advantage of.
Yep.
Because there isn't any lefties. I mean, I think there was one that I counted, maybe two.
In the entire Dakota Hawks lineup?
Yes.
So the only ones that I can think of are Chloe and Thomas. And I think Bennett's a switch.
Bennett's a switch hitter, but yeah, I mean, they were all teased. They should have been able to pick their spots.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Plus, I think
for the live hitters, yikes, that was a rough showing, rough display.
I think JJ, pitcher for South Suburban, did an amazing job on the mound.
He absolutely did, and was well deserving of all tournament team.
Yes, and we will get to the awards later.
Okay. Anything else? No, I mean.
No, I mean, again, it's just a bittersweet moment, I mean, yeah, it sucks for the Hawks. You think you're gonna win a state championship in a down year, all things considered, and here come the Flyers. You let your guard down, and yeah. With that, let's move on to our other semifinal, where we've got the Osseo Park Maple Grove Orioles over Anoka Hennepin Mustangs 9-5. Orioles make their long-awaited return to the state championship game, first since 2001 in softball. And this is the first time they've ever made the state championship game 3 times in the same school year in the adapted sports. So good on them. Great run. Amazing run. We'll get to the state championship game later, but yeah, this one, we were mostly paying attention to the South Suburban Dakota game, all things considered. But every now and then we would take a look, and it just seemed like it was all Osseo. It really seemed like it was all Osseo in this one. Every time I took a look, there was another Oriole crossing the plate. Here's another Oriole. Oh, here's Lincoln at the plate. It seemed like every time I looked over, an Oriole was crossing the plate or was at the plate every time. So, yeah. With that, we move on to the third place game, where Dakota United took down the Anoka Hennepin Mustangs 19-4 in 4 innings. Wow. The offense really showed up, eh?
Yeah, I think I looked over and it was like 10-0 at one point through 2 innings. I'm like, good God, where was this in the first game?
Well, I think they realized that, hey, we cannot count any team out. Even if we defeated them by mercy rule in the regular season, we cannot count any team out. And that's exactly what happened in the Sanoka Hennepin game. They didn't count them out, and they played at their absolute best.
Yeah, and if you remember, this was like a 14-8 game.
Yep.
Early on in the season.
Yeah. And Dakota played at their absolute best and still took home medal, bronze. By the exact score, they took home a gold medal last season.
Seeing a second place medal right now that's covered by a plant and it's hanging on like a rack thing.
Well, let's see. If I look behind me, there's 7 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze.
Oh, of course it's floor hockey. That's always nice.
Well, yeah, because I guess I can't say for you, but the only silver medals that I have are floor hockey, but you have a silver in soccer.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Even though I watched that game.
You watched it live. You watched me get benched, I think. For whatever reason. Anyway, none of that has anything to... It's all irrelevant.
Yeah, I think we just move on to the state championship game, where we've got the Flyers taking down the Osseo Park Maple Grove Orioles 3-2 to earn their first PI Division state championship. What a story. What a story for the South Suburban Flyers. And, I talked to Jimmy Tierney after the semifinal game. He was crying, right? Good, obviously happy tears. And I just put my arm around him and I said, hey, remember what I said after the first Dakota United game? Every word of it, man. And what did you just do today? Beat Dakota United. And then I told him that, this is the first state championship game the Flyers have made since 2004. And he was overjoyed. And then I talked to him after the state championship game as well. I told him, do you realize that this is the first state championship the Flyers have won in any of the 3? And, the entire team, when I told them that, they were just overjoyed that they were the first to climb the mountain. It's a great story. It really is. And I can't wait to see how they handle it next year. As for Osseo, yeah, it sucks in the moment. Lincoln was breaking down after the game, and I can't even blame him. After... you were so close. You were 1 run off from a state championship. Well, 2 runs off if you want to, 1 run off from extending a championship game. And I can't blame him, but then I told him, hey, it couldn't have gone to a better team in South Suburban, and it's a great story that they have going on there, and he recognized that, and me, Braxton, and Braxton Small, a former member of Rochester, the Rochester Raiders, and Lincoln, we all shared stories from when we were all in the league together, and it was a great time. We were laughing after the game, even though Lincoln was a bit sad that he lost, but the best coping mechanism is to laugh, right? And yeah, as I said, what a story for the Flyers.
For me, what was great to see was like the medal presentation and like the interaction between the coaches. I thought that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Because they're both somewhat new to head coaching, right? PJ Starr, this is his first year. Jonah Pretty.
Jonah is year
fourth year, fifth year. No, it's not his sixth year because his first year was the year after COVID.
Okay, so that's probably 5.
Yeah. So, two somewhat new
It is
coaches,
5.
head coaches. Yes, Jonah's been around. Yes, they've both been around the game, like assistant coaching. But new to head coaching is what I mean. Taking the lead. And two amazing coaches. I wish them all the best of luck going ahead. Yeah, the interaction between the coaches was amazing too. Anything else you wanted to say about the state championship game?
No, I mean, like, just it kind of shocked me. I'm like, okay, well, this is definitely gonna be a close one. It's gonna be a pitcher's duel, and I thought both defenses were really good. Like, they didn't give up much of anything.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think I counted that many extra base hits.
Because there wasn't many.
Yeah,
I think there might have been one or two.
yeah, even then, maybe on a throwing area, but I don't know if you count that as a hit. You just count that as an error.
Yep, so that goes down as a single and then error.
Yeah. I mean, both these squads will be back next year for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because for us, you still have the core 4 in Ben, Lincoln, Evan, and I guess we could count Everett in there.
Yeah, absolutely we can. Yes, absolutely.
And then coming up, that's where it gets kind of tough. So I think you kind of have to reload after this coming year because 3 of those are seniors and Lincoln will be a junior.
Yeah.
And then as for South Suburban,
yep.
I think it's next year you got to try and repeat because majority of those guys are seniors. I mean, I think JJ, Mary, Burhan, Ryan, and a couple of others are seniors.
Yeah, and this year, of course, you got Daniel and Jimmy graduating.
Yeah.
And those two were your shortstop and third baseman.
Yeah, that's a big hole to fill.
Yes, absolutely. But honestly, I think they can do it. I really do. I have no doubt in my mind that they, now that you have a state championship, a recent state championship, I think recruiting is going to be vital in these upcoming years. And USA goal, possibly. Anyway, recruiting's going to be very, very important in these upcoming years. And they need to recruit, right? And I think they're going to do a great job of it. And yeah, I mean, the Bloomington area schools, you know, I have no doubt that Bloomington area is going to be buzzing here.
Absolutely. And like even Edina, Eden Prairie might be, but
Richfield, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I know we're talking about PI here, but the CI squad too. I mean, they won in floor hockey, right?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have had a much better season for the South Suburban squads. You really couldn't have. But anyway, with that, I think we move on to our Everything Minnesota Adapted presents the post-tournament awards for PI softball. Just a short disclaimer, these are not official awards. All awards are made up by me and Reese, unless said otherwise. And of course, the only award that is the all-tournament team. On the all-tournament team, from Robbinsdale, Hector Vega Flores. From Rochester, Cooper Morrissey. From Anoka Hennepin, Nevaeh Maxie Thomas. I really hope I said that correctly. From Anoka, Jacob Prenisel. From Dakota, Chloe Shabata. Also from Dakota, Chelsea Ludvigsen. From Osseo, Ben Pfeiffer. Also from Osseo, Everett Olson. Also from Osseo, Lincoln Searcy. And then from the champions in South Suburban, Daniel Herrera Ortega, Jimmy Tierney, and J.J. Morgan. Does any name stand out to you on the all-tournament team, Reese?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, Chelsea for sure, and then Nevaeh as well. I mean, everything else is seems good to me. I mean, I just don't know if there's somebody that could have given it over, but hey, they know something that I don't, so
Yeah.
maybe they had good tournaments, or they definitely did if they got.
Well, they got all-tournament team, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, and what really stands out to me here is I believe two of these two people on this all-tournament team are catchers, those being Chloe and Nevaeh.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Although Chloe can flex into right field, left field, outfield, right?
Yeah.
But this season she was mostly catcher. And, I mean, good for her, you know? Good for her getting an all-tournament team. I don't think she had one previously. Same goes for Nevaeh. I don't think Nevaeh had one previously, so good on them. And yeah, with that, we move on to our unofficial awards that me and Reese are giving out. We've got Golden Glove, Silver Slugger, Wheelchair of the Season, Coach of the Season, Consolation Bracket MVP, Third Place Game MVP, and Tournament MVP. Starting off with our Golden Glove Awards. The pitcher, J.J. Morgan. I mean, he had an amazing tournament at pitcher, defensively.
Honorable mention, you could also say Lincoln Searcy.
Honorable mention for sure, Lincoln Searcy. But I think, and I should say that these are based off of what we saw in the tournament.
Yeah.
Not necessarily over the course of the entire season, because we don't really know much about how these teams performed in the season. But over the course of the tournament, I think JJ was the best defensive pitcher. Catcher, Chloe Shabata. And catcher in slow pitch softball is probably the least important position. But I think the best defensive catcher, probably Chloe. Yeah. At first base, Evan Bartlett. At second base or short right, whichever one you want to call it, Everett Olson from Osseo. At third base from South Suburban, Jimmy Tierney. Tierney? I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, Jimmy. At shortstop, Daniel Ortega. And this is an interesting one because he's a wheelchair shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, it's well deserved. But as a wheelchair, that's even harder to do. It's impressive.
Absolutely, yeah. In the outfield, we've got Mary McIntyre, Elijah Higgins, and Sammy Jordheim. All three showed amazing athleticism in the outfield and some great plays too. I don't think I saw a ball get past Mary, Elijah, or Sammy this entire season, unless if it was a throwing error. Specifically looking at Dakota United, you know who you are. And the wheelchair, because we had to add 10, the wheelchair, Bennett Herman. He was mostly parked behind third base this season. And, I mean, yeah, I think he's probably the best defensive wheelchair other than Daniel in the league. So, yeah. With that, we move on to our Silver Slugger Awards, where we've got dual awards at pitcher. We couldn't choose between the two. I couldn't choose between the two. So we got J.J. Morgan and Lincoln Searcy, both awarded a Silver Slugger. At catcher, Chloe Shibata. At first base, Evan Bartlett. Huge honorable mention to Jacob Huber from Dakota United. Second base, short right, Everett Olson. Honorable mention to Chelsea Ludvigsen. Although I think Everett was just simply better at the plate. At third base, we got Anthony Brown from Anoka Hennepin. At shortstop, we got Ben Pfeiffer from Osseo. And in the outfield, it's the same outfielders we gave the Golden Glove to: Mary McIntyre, Elijah Higgins, and Sammy Jordheim. And as the wheelchair, we got Bennett Herman again. So I know a lot of them are the same as our Golden Glove awards, but a couple of them are different. Obviously, Anthony Brown, Ben Pfeiffer, and the dual awards at pitcher for Lincoln and JJ. Any other names stand out on either the Silver Slugger or Golden Glove, Reese? Any?
No, I thought they were all deserving. I mean, I did not see much of. I was too. Well, I mean, I was kind of bouncing around between gyms, so like I didn't really see much of like. Oh, I didn't see much of Sammy hit. I mean, obviously, I know like how she. Obviously being on the team for however many years, I know how she hits, and like obviously, yeah, just deserved it. Whole field, which is great. Uh, Chloe, I mean, even though she's off a tee, she hits it to where she's told. She hits her spots. Same thing for Bennett as well. I mean, I thought Ben, Mary, and Elijah all had great tournaments. They had great championship games, and then obviously JJ and Lincoln both also had great tournaments. I did not see Anthony Brown hit at all. I mean, what stood out to you?
I mean, I just think he was the best at the third base position because I don't think Jimmy had a great championship game. He had one strikeout. I don't think he got on base. While Anthony, he had a great semifinal game. And even though Anoka couldn't really do much in the third base game, or third place game, rather, not the third base game, that would be, I don't think having a game with only third base would be ideal, so.
That would just be weird.
That would be a little bit weird, eh? But yeah, I think he really stood out in the semifinal game. And we're going to take a little break here, just because I want to say that USA Germany is heading to overtime. So, yeah. Anyway, with that, we're going on to our individual awards, starting off with Wheelchair of the Season. The finalists, we got Bennett Herman. I mean, he's Bennett! One of the premier wheelchairs in the league throughout all 3 seasons. And, yeah, nothing else really much to say. Daniel Herrera Artiga from South Suburban, I mean, he played shortstop. You can't really say much else than that because he played shortstop, which is difficult for a wheelchair. He's fast. He is fast. He's got wheels, pun intended.
And he hits live too, I think. So that's even more impressive.
He switches between live and T.
Yeah. Although I did see a chair hit live in the consolation game on Rochester. I didn't
Yep.
know the name or who it was, but that's something that I saw that really stood out to me.
Yeah, when wheelchairs hit live, the strike zone gets a bit wonky. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And I also put Jaden Eckhart here. I was gonna put a Osseo wheelchair here, but I wasn't sure if they had always been in the wheelchair or not, so I just went with Jaden Eckhart from Anoka Hennepin.
Yeah, the osteo chairs tend to switch around.
Yeah, because I think the plumbers switched in between the chairs. I think,
Rashid Bea was in the chair. I
yep,
think Chili Pepper was in a chair at one
yep.
point. So yeah, they tend to switch around.
Anyway, the winner for wheelchair of the season from South Suburban, it's got to be Daniel Herrera Artiga. I mean, come on, he was the shortstop. He was one of the best players throughout the entire tournament, and I mean, it was hard to hit past him. Remember when we played him last year? It was hard to hit past the guy, and when he was at bat, it was hard to get him out because he was fast.
And it's also like, how do you pitch to the guy?
How do you pitch to wheelchairs in general? I would say outside, but that's because I'm a meanie. You know, I'm mean. I don't give them anything good to hit if they're swinging. Anyways, we move on to coach of the season. Starting off with our finalists, we got Jonah Pretty. I mean, he led Maple Grove. He led Osseo. It should be Osseo Park Maple Grove, not Maple Grove Osseo Park. But he led the he led the Osseo Park Maple Grove squad to 3 state championships in the same year, which hadn't been done before for that program. Which is great. Amazing job. We're talking coach of the season right now, though. So, Brett Kosakowski, I mean, always one of the premier coaches in the league, whether that be for CI or for the PI division.
Apparently, the most winningest coach in Hawks history.
Yep.
And he's only been there for 7 years, I want to say.
No, he's been there longer. No, because he started coaching.
17. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds more correct.
I mean, he's also taken them to 12 straight semifinals.
Yep.
Not including the COVID years, just 12 straight. I think the last one they missed, I said, was 2012 when they lost to Anoka 10-8.
Yep. And then PJ Starr from South Suburban. I mean, come on. You can't have coach of the season without talking about PJ here.
I mean, 2 third-place games in a state championship, that is, yeah.
In his first year of coaching.
Yeah, first year after being an assistant for last year and however many years before that. That's, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he in his first year of coaching softball, he not only made it to the state championship game, but won the state championship game for the first time in program history. In his first year of doing it. So, yeah, I mean, the winner has to be from South Suburban Flyers, PJ Starr. It just has to be. With that, we reach Consolation MVP Now, I didn't watch much of the consolation bracket. Yes, I watched the semifinals, and not I didn't watch any of the consolation championship game. Reese did.
Yeah.
So starting off with our finalists, we got Cooper Morrissey from Rochester, Leah Detterman from Rochester, and Hector Vega Flores from Robbinsdale. First off, I want to I just want to shout out Leah here because she sang the national anthem on day 2 of the state tournament. And she is a pretty good singer. She is a better singer than I am, and I like to think that I'm decent at singing at least rock songs because I'm better at screaming than singing. Yeah. But anyway, our consolation MVP goes to, from Rochester, Cooper Morrissey. One all tournament team. I think this is more of an award for best player on the best team in the consolation bracket, and that goes to Cooper Morrissey. No offense to anybody else on the Raiders, but I think Coop takes it.
I mean, that's how I feel like it really goes. It's just like the best player on the winning team of either the consolation, the third place, or even like the championship.
Yeah. Third place game MVP. The finalists, we got Jacob Huber, Dylan Burns, and Chelsea Ludvigsen. Now, you might be wondering, where is their shortstop Jay Bama? Probably throwing an error, if I had to guess. Um... yeah, that's the reason why he isn't here. He had one too many throwing errors. Simple as that. And the winner of third place MVP with a home run with a grand slam in the third place game. Guess who it's from? I wonder what team it could be. Anyway, with a grand slam in the third place game, it's got to go to Jacob Huber. First baseman, he had a really good third place game, and I congratulate him for getting a grand slam in the third place game. And yeah, with that, I think we just move on to the big one.
Get better aim in Siege.
Get better aim in Siege. Yes, please do. Anyway, with that, we move on to tournament MVP, the big one. We got 5 finalists, but only one can win. Finalists for tournament MVP. From the South Suburban Flyers, Daniel Herrera Ortega. Yes, a wheelchair is a finalist for tournament MVP. I never thought I'd see the day. From Osseo.
I mean, if you go back a few years, I guess
Go ahead.
Alex would have been one, Alex Jorgensen.
Yeah, he absolutely would have been a finalist at the least.
If we did this 4 years ago.
Yeah. This wasn't even a thought 4 years ago.
Yeah, like I didn't even have a thought of even creating an Instagram account and like promoting it, both of it. I mean, I had a private Snapchat story where I just was like, all right, just something out of fun, I guess. Promoted like all the Hawks games and stuff, and I was like, all right, what if I expanded a little bit? And here we are now.
Yeah. Also, USA Germany heading to a shootout. Anyway, finalists Daniel Herrera Ortega. From Osseo, Lincoln Searcy. From South Suburban, J.J. Morgan. From Osseo, Ben Pfeiffer. And from South Suburban, Jimmy Tierney. You want to say anything about any of these players before we move on to who won tournament MVP?
I mean, all very well deservingly so. I mean, if I had to take a guess, it's probably one of the 3 from South Suburban, but I mean, both Lincoln and Ben obviously have their own case in their own rights.
Absolutely. And with that, tournament MVP. That was a terrible drum roll. I don't even know if you could hear it. I was banging 2 highlighters against my desk. Tournament MVP, get my mouse out of the screen. From the South Suburban Flyers, J.J. Morgan. Sorry for the terrible picture, by the way, but it was the best I could find. Yeah, he was amazing throughout, especially the championship game. I mean, he had to have assisted on at least, I would say, 9 outs. And yeah, he had an amazing tournament. 100% deserving of tournament MVP. I saw him and a couple of the other South Suburban Flyers at the Twins game the other day. And yeah, I was just talking to them, and I just told them, hey, you know what? We're doing postseason awards. We always do. And I'm proud to congratulate you to say that you have won tournament MVP, and his face just lit up. So, congratulations to JJ. And, yeah. With that, anything you want to say before we end this video off?
Not that I can think of. I mean, congrats to everybody who won the awards. Congrats to all teams. I mean, just do it all again in the fall.
Yep. With that, if you need to contact me, you can contact me at everythingminnesotaadapted@gmail.com, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at allmnadapted, or on Facebook at Everything Minnesota Adapted. You can contact Reese at his Instagram at Northstar Adaptive. Go follow it. He does an amazing job over there. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And stay tuned, because the CI video should be out in about, 13 minutes from now. So, yeah, CI review podcast should be out in about 13 to 12 minutes from now. And stay tuned, because we will do an end of season review on all sports. So with that, thank you all so much for watching, and of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye!